Hi, this is Angela McFarlane and you're stamping with aMac. This week's product of the week is the gorgeous Floral Essence stamp set. I'm going to show you how to make a different style of card using the black ice technique using the stamps in this set. For the base of the card, you'll want a half A4 sheet of basic black, and you want a Poppy Parade layer, which is 11.5 by 9 centimeters. And just to save some time, I ran this through the Subtles embossing folder sideways. Just gives it a really nice little background texture. And the silver piece is 9.5 by 7 centimeters. Just pop this out of the road. Now for your silver piece, to start on that, we want to do the streaks first. Now you would use stays on, but mine is dry, and I've got my old archival ink pad which will do the trick. You want a permanent ink for this. So you'll grab a scrap piece of paper and put it on your silver, and you want to drag your ink pad across the silver foil to create some streaks. You want a really gentle touch, and you need to hold your silver piece down, and you want to start off the sheet and just drag it lightly down a few times until you get the streaking that you're happy with. You want to make sure you go off the sheet on the other side as well, otherwise you'll get lines where you've stopped. We'll just flip it over and repeat the process. So just really gently drag it along just to get a few little streaks happening, and that just gives it a little bit of textured background there. Then to stamp on this, you want to be really careful because it is really slippery when you stamp on it. So I've got the biggest flower, and this does stain your stamps, but it's okay. It doesn't matter because they still work perfectly fine. I'll just pop my sample up there. So for the first flower, I'll stamp it fairly high up. Just apply a good firm pressure and careful not to slide. It does stick a little bit, so you'll want to hold on to your foil as you lift it up, lift the stamp off. And then this second image, I'll just stamp higher up. Once again, good firm pressure, lift it up. That one's come out a lot better. And then I'll grab my little flower as well, ink that up, and just stamp that in between. There we go. I'll pop some stems onto the flowers, and also some leaves just to fill in the bottom a little bit. So there we have it. To clean this sort of ink off these stamps, there's a new stamp cleaning pad that's also available. So I just blot off the excess onto my scrap piece of paper and then just run it through this cleaning pad. Now it is important to wash or get the excess of this cleaner off these stamps after you've used this product, because it can have a reaction with your stamp. So I'll just run it through my Simply Chamois as well to give it a clean. So that does get some of the staining off your stamps as well, so I won't do all of them. Then you want to make sure that this is really dry, because this ink takes a little bit of time to dry, and especially on silver foil it takes even longer to dry. So I'll just get the heat gun, and we might speed this up a little bit. Okay, we'll curl a little bit just to make sure that it is totally dry. I'll just blot it on a piece of scrap paper as well without moving it around. I'll see that that is pretty dry, so I'm happy with that. And then what we'll do is we'll repeat the process that we did before, but we will use Versamark ink. So if your ink that you've stamped on isn't dry, then your Versamark is going to get ink all over it. So once again, we'll just grab the Versamark, we'll start off the foil and we'll just lightly drag it over. And then what we're going to do is dip this in clear embossing powder. So I'll just shake it through, try to contain it in my tin. And I'll just dry that off, set that with the heat gun. Then we want to make sure that's cooled down a little bit so you can see the effect that it's having. So we'll just make sure that's nice and cool. And then we'll repeat it with the other half. So we'll drag the Versamark along. Just a really, really gentle touch with the Versamark. And I'll just pop that into my clear embossing powder again. Flick off the excess. Pop the lid on. Pop it on my silicone mat. Just make sure that's all set properly and just cool it off again, and you can see this beautiful effect that it creates. It's sort of like a black ice, hence the name of the technique. Okay, then to make our card or assemble the card, I'll just put the ends together, give it a nice crease. Then to save a bit of time, I've just popped some double-sided tape on the back of my embossed Poppy Parade. We'll layer this on, try to get it nice and straight. And then we can stick our silver foil layer on top. Can just use a little bit of snail. I'll layer that on. And there's the base of our card. I've just punched out a few sprigs using the sprig punch and some silver foil, and to save a little bit of time as well, I have stamped a greeting and cut it out. So this greeting was stamped using the Good Morning Magnolia stamp set, and it just fitted perfectly in with this, and it was cut out with my rectangular framelits as well. So the easiest way to attach these sprigs, I find, is to pop a bit of double-sided tape on the back of my greeting, and then I can just attach my little sprigs wherever I want them to go. Then they'll be exactly in the right spot. Then I can just sort of move these around a little bit, have them coming out of this corner. And then to give that a little bit of dimension, we'll just pop a few dimensionals on top. So that will just make it pop up a little bit. I just want to sit that in this corner here just to break up the colour a little bit. And there is my Black Ice Technique card using the Floral Essence stamp set. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Please share it with others if you think they would find it useful, and leave a comment for me. Tell me if you like the technique and if you're going to give it a go. Thanks for watching. Happy stamping and have a wonderful day.